Russian President Vladimir Putin has claimed 4 Ukrainian regions as Russian territory.
That's right. The illegal annexations come as Ukraine's military takes back more ground, pushing the front lines closer to the official Russian border. Now, Putin signed laws Wednesday that absorbs the Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson and Zaporizhia regions into Russia. But despite those illegal annexations, Russian troops actually do not control the entirety of what you see highlighted in yellow on your screen. Ukrainian forces have reclaimed Lyman, a northern city in the Luhansk region, and there are ongoing counteroffensive battles by Ukrainian forces in Kherson and Zaporizhia. CBS News' Charlie D'Agata is on his way to the newly liberated city of Lyman, and we want to warn you, some of the images you're about to see are graphic.
We're on the road to Lyman. It has been slow going. We've had to take the long way because a lot of this territory is, of course, well within reach of Russian firepower. The first images have started to emerge from the embattled city. Everywhere there are signs of the ferocious battle that took place to liberate the city. Convoys of bombed-out vehicles, Russian military vehicles, the belongings of Russian soldiers who either died trying to hold that ground. They also left behind the bodies of Russian soldiers on the street, which indicates how quickly they had to retreat. Now, we spoke to a colonel on the way here. We asked him, why have the Ukrainians been so successful in this region in liberating Lyman and other cities? He said a lot of it's down to U.S.-supplied weaponry, the artillery that they're getting. He specifically mentioned HIMARS that have been part of this battle. There have been a number of explosions here this morning, but the front line has moved on past Lyman now. We're deep inside the Donbass region in eastern Ukraine. This is the very territory that President Putin claimed for his own last Friday when he annexed these territories, saying this is now Russian soil. But I can tell you, this is owned by the Ukrainians. This is a war that's being fought on momentum, and when it comes down to momentum, it's clearly on the side of the Ukrainian military.
CBS News reporter Mary Ilyushina joins us now from Riga in Latvia. Mary, that was quite an eye-opening dispatch from Charlie D'Agata, and it makes you wonder, you know, for those who have characterized President Putin as holding these sham elections as panicking, really, this dispatch seems to suggest that this effort is much worse off than the Russian president suggests. What do you make of what's happening in Lyman specifically, considering the posturing from the Kremlin?
Well, there's definitely a contradiction because the Kremlin and Vladimir Putin today also said that he was so pleased and so surprised by the overwhelming support of these staged referendums. But in fact, you know, the Kremlin also said that they need to retake some of the land in Kherson area and Zaporizhia areas to actually annex them properly, because they can't still figure out where their border lies. So there's a clear sort of split screen happening between what the Kremlin is trying to portray as what they control in Ukraine and successes in Ukraine that they have, and the actual reality on the battleground. And what's important with sort of Lyman and the breakthrough in Kherson as well is that Ukraine now essentially has 2 very successful directions of their counteroffensive, and they are pushing Russians out in these 2 very strategic places, which is, of course contradicts everything that Vladimir Putin has been telling the Russian public about this war.
Mary, as Errol mentioned, these are considered by international law illegal annexations. How is Ukraine responding?
Well, Ukraine said pretty clearly it doesn't change anything for them, not legally, not from the point of view of their counteroffensive. They said, President Vladimir Zelensky said explicitly that they will liberate all these areas. They will bring them back into Ukraine and continue to view it as the part of the sovereign territory of Ukraine, which is also supported by what we're seeing on the battleground there right now, that they're not sort of trying to back down. They're not scared of Putin's threats, and he said that, you know, he's prepared to use all means. He's alluded to Russia's nuclear arsenal. He is calling up tens of thousands of men who are supposed to be the reinforcement for the Russian forces who are exhausted of a really long time in these territories. But Ukraine doesn't view it as a reason to stop their counteroffensive.
All right, Mary, thank you.